sometimes when I go back home, and some of my constituents are skeptical about whether we're really serious about taking on some of the sacred cows, and certainly ethanol has been a sacred cow around here that maybe there's some justification for their skepticism.
Well, since we started the blender's credit, the American people will have spent $32 billion on it. And it's fine for us to look for alternatives, and I think it's great. I'd like for them to convert corn to butanol instead of ethanol because it burns a whole lot better, it's more efficient, it doesn't pollute as much, and it burns like regular gasoline, and it's not water soluble, so it can be transported like other petroleum products. I'd like to see them go there, and I think they're eventually going to go there. But the fact is markets work, and we're playing with markets, and the reason we have such an objection to this is probably because we probably have the votes to win it, and they know it. And so I've pulled it out. But more importantly, is I've got another $15 billion of amendments I'd like to offer that are common sense, that a good portion of America would absolutely agree with, and we don't have people who want to have a vote on that. They don't want to stand up and do their job. So let me ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter from Charles Drevna, President of the National Petrochemical and Refiners Association. And I'll read what he says. Senator Coburn, NPRA, the National Petrochemical and Refiners Association, writes today in support of your efforts to end the volumetric ethanol excise tax credit through both Amendment Number 220 to S-493, the SBR reauthorization bill, and the bill you recently introduced with Senator Cardin, S-520. The association has a long history of opposing mandates and subsidies, and this opposition extends to the VTIC. VTIC is an unnecessary subsidy, particularly given the federal renewable fuel standards requirement to blend 36 billion gallons of biofuels into the fuel supply by 2022.
Without objection.
So here's the people that are receiving the credit,
yes,
saying they don't want it.
Well, I think the Senator has made a strong point, and I just wanted to have clarification, and I hope that perhaps we can also start addressing the issue of sugar subsidies, which I think is probably one of the really great rip-offs in America today. Again, causing the cost of any confection or anything that contains sugar to rise, and then, of course, the American consumer pays for it, preventing sugar from other countries to come into this country at a lower price. So,
Senator McCain, the real issue is we've spent 3 days this week not doing anything on this bill. We've borrowed $12 billion. I've got amendments, if we could pass, would save us $20 billion. Every day we don't take hard votes is a day we don't fulfill the responsibility of us, given to us, the privilege given to us as U.S. Senators. No matter what your philosophy, the fact is we ought to be taking the hard votes. And people who don't want to do that, their constituency ought to ask the question, why are you there? Why are you afraid to defend what you believe to be right, rather than disallow somebody else to make a point and a position with an amendment? And so to me, you didn't hear my speech prior to coming in.
I was watching.
This is the worst tendencies of the Senate, and I want us to go back to the best tradition. I'm not always going to be right, and I certainly hardly ever win, but the fact is the issues in front of this country are so great, we don't have time for this anymore. And every day we don't work on this small business job creation bill because people don't want to take tough votes is a day that we're not fulfilling the obligations we have as U.S. Senators.
But if you believe in our great nation and the democracy and the representative government that it is, over time, you will succeed. It requires tenacity. I don't think you will be elected Miss Congeniality this year again either, but I appreciate your effort on this issue and many others, and I look forward to continuing to join you in the fight and follow your leadership. Mr. President, I yield the floor. Since of quorum.
Roll.
Mr. Akaka.
And we're waiting for senators to come back to the floor here as they work today on the Small Business and Technology Bill, the legislation that would continue a couple of programs for small, high-tech, and research firms for 8 years with some changes. And we expect debate, including amendments on that piece of legislation, to continue maybe tomorrow, with the final vote possible before the end of the week. More amendments, we're told by Majority Leader Reid, tomorrow. Earlier, the Senate took a closed-door briefing on the subject of Libya with Defense Secretary Gates. And here's how the Associated Press is reporting the story today. They say the White House has said it is assessing options for all types of assistance to rebels battling Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's troops in Libya, while frustrated lawmakers quoted senior Obama administration officials as saying the U.S. military's role will be limited. No decision has been made about providing arms to the opposition or to any groups in Libya, said White House Press Secretary Jay Carney. We're not ruling it in or ruling it out. Again, we're waiting for senators to come back to the floor here and continue some debate on that small business bill.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Are we in a quorum call?
Yes, we are.
I ask consent that that be initiated.
Without objection.
I'm not kidding. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Judicial Committee be discharged from further consideration S-Res 112. And we now proceed to that matter.
Clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 112, congratulating the Pennsylvania State University IFC Pan-Hellenic Dance Marathon on its continued success in support of the Four Diamonds Fund at Penn State Hershey Children's Hospital.
Without objection, the committee is discharged. Senate will proceed to the measure.
Mr. President, I ask that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, the motion reconsider be laid on the table, there be no intervening action or debate, and any statements relating to this matter be placed in the record at the appropriate place as if read.
Without objection.
As consent, we now proceed to S-Res 118.
Clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 118, designating April 2011 as National 911 Education Month.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
As consent that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, the motion to reconsider be laid on the table, there be no intervening action or debate, and any statements relating to this matter be placed in the record at the appropriate place as if read.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes the business day, adjourn until 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, March 31st. Following the prayer and the pledge, adjourned proceedings be approved to date. The morning hour be deemed expired. The time for the two leaders be reserved for the use later in the day. And the Senate proceed to a period of morning business with senators allowed to speak for up to 10 minutes each during that time. At the first hour be equally divided and controlled between the two leaders of the designees, with the majority controlling the first 30 minutes and the Republicans controlling the second 30 minutes.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I apologize to everyone, including the presiding officer, for having to wait with this quorum call, nothing happening, but there was an important meeting with a number of senators going on in the Vice President's office, and I had to have those senators there before I could determine that we weren't to do anything more tonight. So I apologize to everyone for the downtime. Mr. President, we're working to reach an agreement regarding the amendments to the Small Business Jobs Bill. Senators will be notified when votes are scheduled. I've spoken to Senator McConnell earlier today, and we know we have some problems to work through, and we'll continue trying to do that tomorrow. If there's no further business coming before the Senate, I ask that we adjourn under the previous order.
Senate will stand adjourned until Thursday, 9:30 a.m., March 31st.
Senate leaders had said they'd hope to have votes today on amendments to a small business bill. It continues programs to provide startup funds